Have you ever felt a heaviness inside you but couldn't quite explain why? Like something is sitting in your chest, a knot in your stomach, tight shoulders, or a quiet tension that follows you through your day. Yet when someone asks, "How are you feeling?" you say, "I'm fine." Not because you're fine, but because you can't quite name what's there. This is more common than we think. We live in a world that teaches us to perform, to keep moving, to focus on the external, the tasks, the roles, the appearances, but it doesn't often teach us to pause and look inward with curiosity and compassion. In fact, what most of us were taught was to suppress all our negative emotions. So over time, we lose the language of our inner world. We feel sadness, but call it stress. We feel shame or fear, but disguise it as anger. We feel longing, but bury it under busyness. And what happens when we do that? Those unnamed emotions don't disappear. They stay, quietly shaping the way we show up, the decisions we make, and the walls we build around our hearts. And in most cases, they also lodge somewhere in our body and manifest as illness. Naming your emotional landscape is like turning on the light in a room you've been stumbling through in the dark. The furniture was always there, the joy, the grief, the hope, the fear. But when you see it clearly, you stop bumping into it. You can choose how to move around it. You can decide what stays and what goes. And most importantly, you stop being afraid of it. I remember a time in my life when I thought I was just tired. That's what I would tell everyone. I'm just tired. But when I finally sat down with myself, and I mean really sat, no distractions, no phone, no trying to fix it, I realized that beneath that tiredness was grief I hadn't allowed myself to feel. I wasn't living a life I wanted, even though everything on the surface looked like I was living my dream life. A part of me was mourning what could have been, but because I didn't know what it was, I just kept pushing through, telling myself I was just overworked or I was overthinking. The truth is, I was carrying a sadness that needed my presence and my attention, not my denial. And that's what today is about. If we want to unlock the heart, we have to stop treating our emotions like a cluttered attic we never go into. We have to step inside, lift the dust cloth, open the boxes, and say, so this is what I've been holding. Because emotions, when acknowledged, move. They are energy in motion. Emotion, energy in motion. But what we resist persists. Why is naming them so powerful though? Because what we can name, we can nurture. What we can name, we can release. Think about a child crying in the dark. The moment you name their fear, you're feeling scared right now. Their shoulders drop. They feel seen. Your heart is no different. It has been waiting to be seen. So, let's start with a simple truth. All emotions are valid. Not all actions are, but the emotions themselves, they're messengers. They're saying something matters here, something needs attention. And in this 30-day journey, we're not rushing to get rid of them. We're learning to be in relationship with them. Invite them to come sit with you for a cup of tea. Then you can listen, name, and then decide how to respond. For some of you, this might bring up a lot. Maybe you've been taught that certain emotions are just too much, or that showing sadness is weakness, or that anger makes you a bad person. But here's what I want you to remember: emotions are not your identity, they're visitors. They pass through if you let them. But if you trap them, deny them, pretend they don't exist, they build a house inside us and stay far longer than they were supposed to. So today, I want to guide you through a practice that's part self reflection, heart emotional mapping. We're going to create a gentle inventory, not to judge, but to witness. Find a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your shoulders relax. Place your hand over your heart that feels grounding for you. Now think about the past few weeks or even months. What has been lingering under the surface? If you were to imagine your inner world as a landscape, maybe a forest, a city, a desert, a field, what kind of weather is there right now? Is it stormy, foggy, calm but heavy? This imagery helps your brain translate feelings into something you can see. Now, here's the exercise I want you to try. It has three parts, and you can write this down in a journal or even on your phone. List the top three emotions you notice within yourself today. Don't worry about finding the right word. Just get as close as you can. It could be sadness, resentment, loneliness, hope, excitement, fear, guilt, anything. For each emotion, write one sentence about where you feel it in your body. For example, I feel this sadness as a heaviness in my chest, or this anger is a tension in my jaw. Then ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? This is not about fixing it. Just listen. It might say, I want rest, or I need closure, or I miss feeling safe. As you do this, remember, you're not there to solve it all today. You're here to see what's been wanting to be seen and to name what's been waiting to be named. And that alone is an act of healing. That alone opens the door. When I first did this kind of exercise, I was surprised by what came up. Some emotions I thought I had moved on from were still quietly there, asking for a little more of my attention. And others were softer than I expected, like little lights beneath the surface saying, hey, you've been so focused on the hard stuff, but I'm still here too. Your joy, your gratitude. So don't be afraid if you find both heaviness and hope on your list. The heart is wide enough to hold all your emotions. After you've named your three emotions, take another deep breath. Look at them with compassion, as if you were hugging a friend and saying, I see you. Thank you for letting me know you're here. That's it. That's the practice for today. Simple, but profoundly brave. And here's a little challenge if you want to take it further. At the end of your day, check in again. Do those emotions still feel the same? Have they shifted even a little? Do they still have the same size and shape? Just noticing this is how we start to reclaim agency over our inner world. Naming your emotional landscape is like drawing a map before you start a journey. You can't get to where you want to go, more openness, more love, more peace, without first knowing where you are. Honor yourself for showing up to see what's really there. That's courage. That's the beginning of true freedom. If you're curious and want to learn more emotions, you can just Google emotional vocabulary and you'll find plenty. As we conclude the healing aspect of the heart framework, I'm sharing with you the first workbook of this 30-day challenge, Emotional Mastery. Use the link in the description box below to download your free workbook now for more reflection and additional practice. I'll see you tomorrow as we continue our journey into the next aspect of my heart framework, embody.